जवाल भाई लाइट ऑफ करा दीजिए। हम्म। ठीक है, ओके। इसको कम सो मान ज्योतिर्गमय अंधेरे से उजाले की ओर जाएंगे। मेरे प्रिय आत्मन, मैं राजा रजनीश चंद्र मोहन जैन, रजनीश भगवान रजनीश ओशो आज आप सबका पुण्य नगरी यानी पुणे में स्वागत करा। जोरदार तालियां करिए। मैं तो एक रूह की आत्मा था। दिसंबर 1930 से लेकर 1991 जनवरी में मैं ये पृथ्वी का ग्रह छोड़ के चला गया। अब मुझे पता चला कि सेक्स की कॉन्फ्रेंस पुण्य नगरी यानी कि पुणे में हो रही है और सेक्स शब्द के साथ मेरा नाम जुड़ा है। नाम अच्छे काम के लिए भी और बुरे काम के लिए भी। लोग मानते भी है कि मैंने क्या किया है, मगर जब भी सेक्स का जिक्र आता है तो लोग मेरी बात करते। और मैंने सोचा कि मेरे बारे में काफी कुछ भ्रमणा है, मिथ्स है, मिसकंसेप्शन। मेरी 58 ईयर्स की जो जर्नी थी, तो मैंने बोला हम लोग जो सेक्सोलॉजी से उनको थोड़ी कुछ बात बताइए। और मैंने सोचा कि इसके लिए कौन सी आत्मा मुझे मिलेगी। और मैंने सोचा कि डॉक्टर राजशेखर ब्रह्मभट्ट यानी कि डॉक्टर राज ब्रह्मभट्ट जो फाउंडर मेंबर ट्रस्टी एंड सेक्रेटरी ऑफ सीएसईपीआई उनको मैं देखता हूँ। तो लोग आप अपना कान दीजिए और सुनिए मेरे बारे में। तो अब डॉक्टर राज ब्रह्मभट्ट आपके सामने आ रहा है। मैं मेरा समय अब शुरू होता है। वो तो रजनीश जी थे और डॉक्टर राज ब्रह्मभट्ट अभी आए थे। तो दोस्तों, ओशो सेक्सोसॉफर ऑफ 20th सेंचुरी, सेक्स और फिलोसोफर दोनों को मिलाकर ये वर्ड बना गया है सेक्सोसॉफर। और मेरा मेटामॉर्फोसिस, मैं जन्मा तब मुझे राजा नाम दिया गया था। बाद में रजनीश, रजनी माने नाइट और ईश माने चंद्र, तो रात का जो राजा है वो चंद्र। फिर मेरा नाम चंद्र मोहन जैन रखा गया। वहां से जाके जब मैंने पढ़ाना शुरू किया, प्रोफेसर बना तो आचार्य रजनीश बना। बाद में भगवान श्री रजनीश और 89 में ओशो और 1999 में ये ग्रह को छोड़कर मैं कहीं और घूम रहा था। तो आपके बारे में मेरे साथ एक छोटी सी जर्नी में आएंगे आप। मेरा जन्म कुचवाड़ा मध्य प्रदेश में हुआ था। एक छोटा सा घर था जहां मेरा जन्म हुआ था। इट इज इन द रायसेन डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ मध्य प्रदेश और साल में आज एक बार मेरे जन्म के दिन वो खुलता है। मेरे माता पिता का नाम बाबूलाल और सरस्वती देवी। पिताजी एक कपड़े के व्यापारी थे और उनके 11 बच्चों में सबसे बड़ा मैं था। और अरबी देश में हम जो मानते थे वो 13 पंथ। 13 पंथ क्या होता है थोड़ी बार में आपको हम सच। शुरू में पिताजी ने सोचा कि 10 साल मुझे कुछ पढ़ना नहीं, तो उसके लिए मुझे मेरी दादी के यहाँ छोड़ा गया। दादी जो रहती थी वो गदरवाड़ा में रहती थी और वहां पर मैं था जब दादा का मृत्यु हो गया। When my grandfather died, I moved to Jabal. 7 to 8 years I studied philosophy, and in 1960 I became a professor of philosophy. Then professor meaning Acharya Rajneesh. But 25th March 1953, this soul, while sitting under the people tree, he got an enlightenment. वो एक दिल के शक्ति उनको प्राप्त हुआ। Buddha, he also got an enlightenment under the people, under the tree, Bodhi tree. Same thing happened with Swami Vivekananda and others. So I was one of them. And at that time, the spiritual awakening was there. I started studying in Hirakan Art College. But that time, there was all religious meetings were there. And from childhood, if right is there, so I said it's wrong. If white is there, I said black. And I had a lot of power of convincing other people. People thought that I'm hypnotizing. No, it was my power. I used to think in a different way, morally. It was an individual way, where all the people are going, I was in a different way, and I was thinking in a different way. So, Vad Vivad, there were a discussion of all the religion people. Right from the school days to the college, everywhere I went around the north. And whenever there was a discussion, I don't have to tell you, I used to come with a big trophy in the home. There is a complete cupboard filled with my trophies only over there. Now, Taranta, this is a grand set. And there was some. Then I went to Raipur Junction because I was wearing the dhoti and nothing on the shawl. They thought that I am a sadhu. I'm a Sanskrit scholar. So that was, I was put at Raipur Junction, but they realized that I did not know Sanskrit. Then I moved to Jabalpur, which is my place where I did lot of work. Now, 10 years I was president of Tarantara. If you see Jainism, the first one is Svetambar, wearing the white clothes. Second one is Digambar, they don't wear anything. They say Disha is Ambar, means the surroundings. So they do not keep anything, no Maya, no more, everything is out. And the third is like a Sikhism. They say we don't follow the statue, we do not remove the clothes, we do not go for discussion. Only thing we pray is books and books, which is like a Granth Sahib, which is being done over. So he started 10 years he was a president of Tarantara. And just see now how he changes his life. From there, he became assistant director of Now Bharat, and it was in Jabalpur. At that time, he wrote a small booklet, जीवन जीने की कला, the art of living, ज्ञान सूत्र. ज्ञान तो सब में है, ज्ञान नहीं तो कुछ भी नहीं. If you do not have concentration, you are a zero. And there he wrote many poetries and other things. Look at here, स्वर्ग के प्रदीप, then मिट्टी के लिए और क्रांति बीज, means revolution. He said, I am putting a seed and you grow out of it. And look at the handwritings of Osho. And below you see is his signature. It was like a calligraphy. 200 signatures in a different color he has made it. I don't think anybody can do it. Everything he did was with a style, with a color, with something, and which was unparalleled in the world. He started first shivir, means first meeting in Gujarat. As he was wearing a dress like Gandhian, Gujarati thought that he is a Gandhian. So it was just near Valsad. A place is now called Nargol. And I was to go there, but because of my family circumstances, I could not. But two of my classmates, one is in England and one is in Bombay, both of them went in the first shift. And after 30 years, I went to it's a small little town which is full of Parsis and very quiet place. So he started his journey from here. Then look at him now. This is the most important thing I want all of you to concentrate over here. First, people thought he is like a Gandhi. So Gujarat invited him. They wanted to give him 600-acre land to build an ashram. But he said, I love Gandhi. When Gandhi died, 3 days he could not sleep, he never ate anything. But he said, if we follow Gandhi, we'll go backward in the 18th century. He said, Gandhi ke vichar par punar vichar. He said, he just says that Charkha Kato, it will take us to the 18th century. So people were very much worried. So first, he broke with the Jainism, then with Gandhi. So everybody thought that he's a communist. And what happened? Das Capital. He went through just during the before the school days. And it's such a boring book. He said, even Karl Marx could not have read this particular book. And I have read every word and I have digested. And what he said, if you go to the communism, you will be lost. So there is no motivation. All of us will be same. He said, so third thing, he threw away communist from there. So all the people who were believing that he doesn't believe in Gandhi, doesn't believe in Jainism, doesn't believe in communists, so they said he's the person who does not believe in the God. This is a turning point of his life. Bharati Vidya Bhavan, this is in Bombay, 1968, during Paryushan, that's the festival of Jainism. And for 10 days, there are good speakers are called. Even he was asked to speak on love. He said, sex is the beginning of the journey to the love. And when he stopped this, during the talk, people started then to stop him. And they had to close down after that. Because all the people were shocked to the word shock, sex to be heard in 1960 was unbelievable. Then after that, two more lectures, he took it somewhere, yes. And what was the subject? The book came out from sex to super consciousness. From Sambhog se Samadhi ki oor. So can you believe that sex to super consciousness in all world languages it has been translated? Korea has got the maximum one. And this is a book openly talks about the sex. And this is what he started. Now J. Krishnamurti, he was a master of intellectual. But Rajneesh was above that. He was the master of controversies. If there is six, he says nine. And if you say nine, then he says six. And he challenged Pope. And he challenged Pope Christianity. That this is the worst religion on this earth. He said Christ does not know anything. And what does a Christian do? Missionary thing. To that they want somebody first to suffer. He said, why can't you have a unit where everybody is happy? And he challenged that let me call, they will call me to a Vatican or high quality here and we all discuss it out. So first he prevailed Jainism, second Gandhi, third communist, fourth Christian. So everywhere in lifetime he was a man of controversy. And he said, once I have said, means I have said. No sorry to it. He never said sorry in his life. Sexosopher, I coined the word sex plus philosopher. Sex to super consciousness. People don't understand. He's not saying that super conscious to sex. He says you enjoy the sex in such a way, so you went into a higher stage. He was the first Indian spiritual leader, mystic. Till today, after going through so many, last 3 months I was studying, I have not understood a drop of water in dishes. He's a Rajneesh moment he started. Indian philosophy plus Western thought. First time he brought up controversial, and controversial transformation of sexual energy into higher state of super consciousness. We are all sexologists. We believe in treating the sexual disorder, but how sex could be converted into a super consciousness, that is what Rajni is straight. And unfortunately, it is the only book out of 650 books which he has written on all the subject on the earth. And he has hardly written 3 or 4 books. Most of the book from his talk people have written down and it has been, and you'll be surprised to talk how much he used to read. He was a voracious reader. And here he says sex to super consciousness. Not that super consciousness you learn to how to have sex. And he continues his ideas and other things. He met Maya, Yoga Lakshmi, and he started coming to, he said, I've conquered the north. Let me go to the higher place like a Mumbai. As I said, he came to Mumbai. And Mumbai, he was not keeping well. So he went to Pune. He went to Chopper, he had a little asthma. And he used to have a breathing problem. He wanted a dry place. And in Pune, there is a place called Ban Ganga, Ban Garden. There I stayed one night, which Rajneesh wanted to buy. It is just on the bank of a river. That person who was going, he was a theater owner, he said, I don't want to sell it. But I stayed in that particular. So Osho International over here, look at the way in which he has designed landscaping. Buddha was his favorite, and even one gutter is converted into a beautiful garden which is worth seeing in Pune. So all the people who were atheists, they were very happy that yes, the person who throws away God, he throws away Jainism, throws away Gandhi, throws away Christianity, throws away everything communist. So they thought that he's a atheist. He doesn't believe in God. And that's the time he changed his name to Bhagavan Rajneesh, means God Rajneesh. He said, I'm a Rajneesh, I'm a God. So those people also left him and ran away. And then the pure people who were interested in Rajneesh, they stayed over there. So he became the philosopher. And he started sannyasi, which is not so cheap. I go and give talks everywhere. First question my friend asked me, how much money you are getting? I said, I don't go for money. These are my money. The love, affection which you give to me, that's my money. But he was different. If you want to listen to me, pay me and then listen. So he started, minting money. And that's how he went international. He said, you have to wear a robe. You have to have mala. And like CSEPI, you have to have my photo. And then you will be converted into Sar. The hero. You know who is it? Vinod Khanna, Kalyan Janji, Mahesh Bhatt. Many others were their followers. And Vinod Khanna, he left his filming career, he went along with to Pune and then to America. And meditation is about watchfulness, not about what you watch. We are all watching, but what he was watching was entirely different. And that was the revolution. So he started calling the people in the early morning, there'll be meditation, followed by his talk. 7 years he gave talk, on a various subjects. First he gave in Hindi and then English, because a lot of international people came. And all the books have been written by other people. Whatever he said is every word has been translated into a book. So for dynamic meditation, what was there? He showed 200 varieties, 5 stages, rapid breathing. So catharsis, conscious catharsis. Then after that, hammering your own energy center, silence. He gave a lot of importance to silence. And yesterday also said, if you want to be a good counselor, learn to be silent, listen to the people. And last, he says celebration. Sex is a celebration, it's just not a reproduction, with the animals are also doing it. He goes beyond that. So you can imagine his all meditation, there are 400 varieties of meditation he had shown. Then Kundalini awakening. I know somebody sitting over here, he can do that. And 7 chakra from Muladhara to the higher scan. So he said, sex is a lower energy, take it to the higher level, and you will be an enlightened and a bright person. This is what Osho said. And then what was his philosophy? Love, meditation, mindfulness. Now, CBT and mindfulness is now the most sought after thing. What is we are here in this particular minute. And then super consciousness, personal growth, orgasm, sexual energy, living life fully without guilt. So whenever you have a sex, don't have any guilt. Meditative awareness, experience the approach to spirit, experience yourself, and then you will be able to do it. So this is his signature. Look at his dresses. Every time he had a different flower thought of a dress. He used to read 3 to 4 books in a day. And he used to remember everything like Vivekananda. Osho wrote on Upanishad. Osho wrote in Krishna, Gita Darshan, Buddha, Zorba, Jin Sutra. Here is a Mahavira, Mahavinas. Even Jainism, he tried to throw them away. Ek Omkar Satnam. He also spoke on Sikhism, also on a Zen. Osho also on a Tao he spoke. He spoke on Sufis. He spoke on Kabir. He spoke Mera Mujh mein kuch nahi. Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. He also spoke. And invitation to silence and art of dying. He says every moment you should die. And then come up again and live the rest of the life. And this is what he taught. He wrote on Ramana Maharshi, Krishnamurti, and Tantra. 650 books and only one book which said about the sex. And his most favorite character was Mullah Nasruddin. I was lucky to go there in Kona in Turkey. And Mullah, the jokes he will tell, so between 2 jokes, he said that silent. You try to understand what I want to say over there. So this was Mullah. A Akela Insan, the only person who read about 1 lakh books, he said, thanks to all the religion, sex has become more attractive because of condemnation of the priest. And all the religions have condemned the sex. And he said, you must enjoy sex. Enjoy to the fullest. And go to the moment of orgasm, and that's the moment you are in a super consciousness. And if that consciousness you received, you are all throughout, all life you will be a conscious. People did not understand, and even I did not understand, even I understand the talk of what he said. Now, he was not a sex guru. People say he taught people say, no, he said, sex free guru. You enjoy so much that you come out of it. Now the turning point comes, he goes to America. There, how much acre Jameen he lives? He said around 380 acres he took and Rajnishpuram he started. There he had a helicopter helipad, plane, and 260 kilometers. And it was a dry place and he converted into a heaven. Then he again went into a silence. So that's the time on the right side what he said. In Maharashtra, only three slides are there. He said, I am a simple man of a simple page. I just like the base. He had a 93 Rolls Royce. And he wanted to have 365 Rolls Royces. All the disciples gave him. I have tried all kinds of cars. It is just a coincidence that one of the most beautiful models was Rolls Royce of silver stripe. That's it. So you saw right from attire, right from writing, right from the book cover, everything he did with this. I love that. That is why I give teaching of celebration. Celebrate everything from body to soul, from physics to spiritual, sex to superconscious, everything is divine to me. Rajneeshpuram, first world celebration was in 1982 in America. From all over the world, people came over there. This was a Rolls Royce ceremony every day over there. There were traffic police. And now the dirty things came up. People started enjoying the sex. Nudist colony came up. People came from all over world and then immigration there. Drugs were used. Drugs was, they said this acid and did a bioterror attack. They put a salmonella poisoning to the other people. They placed the bunker, they said whole world is coming to end. And if you want to read, and I'm not feels like the wild country, inside story of Rajneeshpuram by his, assassin and the one inside the cult of Bhagwan who failed the American utopia, the Rajneesh, the king, the one who has written the book. So these are all the negative aspects of it. We do not know. I can tell you, nobody, I call him a 20th century, the man of 20th century. I consider Gandhi as a Yuga Purush and he was a Yug Chintak, the thinker of 20th century. He was then called Roman Dragon and 56 countries avoided. They said, we will not take you over here. Ultimately, he returns to India. And from here, as you go to the main road, I was staying for 3 years with him. Neither he came to me nor I went to him. But he was in a silence at that time. And from silence, now in a Pune, there is a Oslo International Medical Center. Last week's slide. Sex is just the beginning, not the end. But if you miss the beginning, you miss the end also. He says you enjoy something so much that you reach to a super consciousness. First of all, you have to be ego free. आपका ego zero बना लो, then and then you'll be able to go there. And then you will have a super consciousness. You'll be such a person, you'll be an enlightened person. He says sex is the seed, and love is the flower, compassion is the brightness. And sex is a divine, awaken the divine energy within all of you. I can tell you, never obey anyone's command. He said, don't obey me also. There is no God other than its life itself. Truth is within you. Don't search it anywhere else. Love is a prayer. To become nothingness is a door to truth nothingness. And life is now and here. Live wakefully. Do not swim and float. Live each moment so that you can have each moment. You write each moment so you can have new moment at time. Do not search. That we will stop and see. And this is his take on that Samadhi, what is written, Osho. Never born, never died, only visited this planet Earth between 1931 and 1990. I bow my head to such a great man who said, embrace the life fully, meditate the awareness, individual and freedom, sex is a fundamental energy, sexual desire without guilt, integration of sex and spirituality for the first time, technique and practice, and go sex to super consciousness. It's a holistic approach. Sex, never repress it. Never be against it. Rather go deep into it with great clarity, with great love. Go like an explorer. Search all the nooks and corners of your sexuality and you will be surprised and very rich. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for your brief and elaborate description of Bhagwan Ganesh, Vishnu Ganesh. Second speaker.
Our next speaker is the well-versed, experienced eminent Dr. Sinam Rajendra Singh. He is a regional coordinator and core committee member of SEPI in the last 3 decades. He is former professor and HOD of Urology RIMS Nepal. He is a former executive member of Medical Council of India, former Senate member of Manipur University, former president of Urological Society of India, the East Zone, recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award of IIT, founder president of Patanjali Yoga Namki, which is an online yoga group, examiner in many universities of the country and National Board of Urology. He has been nominated for the award of President Gold Medal of Urology Society of India at Patna in February 2024, and he is presently working as a senior consultant urologist in Kripa Dashni Advanced Hospital, India.
Una fine prendere una bisarata, sebenarnya semua independen. Coba tuh.
Uh, Good afternoon. सबको नमस्कार प्रणाम नमस्कार for the introduction. Very handsome fellow in on the screen. When I say namaste, I will remind you all the beautiful great states of India. The words, the letters here, the last letter represents Northeast India. N for Nagaland, Spa, Nagaland, A for Arunachal and Assam, M for Nosebody, Manipur, where they are, Mizoram. Yeah. Then, Namaste. For reading from that whole stretch of our vast country. The topic I have chosen is of yoga in the management of SUI. Before I start, let me start that song, which I do every morning. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanam Bhunaktu Kyavyam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhi Tamastu Avikshavavahe Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh God, please protect us, give us nutrition. Let us work hard. Let us learn the things of God. That talk so nicely about the Islam. I learned a lot last today. Yes, then there are not any ego amongst us. Peace, peace. That is about that. So, yeah. That's really important thing. What is this? Here's my slow time is only 15 minutes. It will be some sort of premature ejaculation because in 15 not the Nora and impossible. The other night, you try to explain the exercises. That works. So, one is especially good. Beauty. Not when they're wanting to show transition for high tech, you know. And when something when they smile or when they laugh or when they're lifting away, I'm graphic. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Well, hey, yeah. Uh, now is the day. How the first is similar to the and also just about the divine. I am man. Sir, that's also very complex. Details are very techniques. So this is a very simple diagrammatic representation of the normal where the unit time is think about the diaphragm. Here, before the population or whatever surgery, very much the mother units are not strong. So,
When the president rise, when the units are compressed, the units it means because of these control mechanism stands for the units. Where G, you are going to party, then you are eating and one something against you, yeah, so there is appreciation, social isolation. When my head, so social isolation, dependency, you have to depend for these all the pain, those things. Also control, you shut me. You are where make time. Yeah. So I you see this yoga. Yoga is a certain word derived from the use, which using the person, the mind, the whole mind, maybe thinking about that initial I did a few years ago. So the mind is roaming here and there. You try to control. You you with the soul, connect the soul. That is what is yoga. So this practice for a long time or country and family system of all. And the process of mind. Yoga is not just saying like this. That yoga means it is like this. This is the and Nutas like that. This is not the only thing. You have to do this Dhamma, Yama, Dhamma, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pranayama, Dhyana, Samadhi. That is the morning. Proportion is only just a small part. If you want to have a thinking, five concept, physical, mental, social, and spiritual, you have to practice yoga. How many followers you can even do? Every sphere for your so, when you pray to God, you see, this is yoga. You define, yeah? You do what? Of course, I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain so, you for doing this asanas, you have to realize something just like this. Governments are making medication for mobility digital. And the only thing I get that is when you were you try decide food order you were that particular function. Then always then that must flexibility constantly will be high. The thing is the say about the if you are doing very expressiveness, mind is in control of the harmony. This is our yoga. So when you breathe very fast, you go how do you breathe? You go here. We said that 4 times. I mean, one part is 200. You have this So, some of the asanas, follow particular asana, short and pose, in short and pose, this is full general pose, Usasana, the Sukha. So, Sukha 74 on this topic, yeah, of the semester. 74. Understand? This flexibility for the last 25 years, I'm doing unspent 2 hours in the morning, 4 hours, night, here you do it. Surgery or anything after 9 years, even cow doesn't go for training after 6 years. You come back. Why human beings? I will do the Sarvada, Sarvada, get up. Namaskar. Yes. Okay. You want it. Guys, one body for us. Listen. Namaskar. So, what is how much time remain for him? 5. Okay. Thank you. I hear orgasm. I will not finish in the I was wondering after he has spoken so nicely. Same position. Yeah. Yeah. So, once one lady daughter students very normal position. So, from the beginning, there are thoughts. She told her, woman, not she told me only normal position. No, he took that one normal position. Yeah, so different questions are there. Try to hang on. And the doctor also told, all this, why you are sitting here, don't doing that. I'm checking. After the process that we need to survive the body, for now we ourselves wait for about a year to see to do this Oshiri Mudra exercise. Such as very useful and no wonder to show this, but because this people wow, this is where with now my case where you one and bigger so we should be careful us from this to another news or from this it's possible whatever and this is take note of the point growth in the after. So there's a hospital in Pune, I in the hospital, over time, also in the head, No, thank you very much. Anyway, coming. Yeah, so regarding yoga asanas, Sriram Sukha Asana, Sriram Sukha Asana. Don't think that I can like this. I will do. I will know what is don't hide. So that when we control like this, join yoga, you can enjoy life. Then just 1 hour for yourself every day. Not okay. Yes, please. Thank you very much. I think that is good. You, whenever you go there, just go. Yeah. Whenever all guys for. And you have so many. Thank you, thank you. I let you do exercise, particularly yoga, and this Madhya Pradesh. I know this Madhya Pradesh. Well, it is called Uttar Pradesh. So don't allow Madhya Pradesh somehow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, CM, sir. Dr. The next speaker is Dr. Bhaskar Harsey. He is a renowned consultant diabetes practicing in Pune, serving as the secretary of the scientific section and joint secretary of Diabetic Association of India for the last 2 decades. And he is a regular participant in international conferences of diabetics and also national conferences organized by RSSDI, Diabetic Association of India. He designed and presented Eat and Learn, an innovative diabetic education program for doctors and patients in various national and state conferences. Part of the educative broadcasting on medical topics in All India Radio, Pune and Pune televisions. He is also directed and acted in diabetic educative dramas for patients Madhumilan and Gadiral Viral Sharwal, currently involved in stem cell therapy and to type 2 diabetes with different protocol. Project collaboration with Pune Hospital and Research Center, STEM 1 Lab and National Center for Cell Sciences and Development of large diabetic population based for Pune city sample population for various epidemiological and interventional research studies in diabetes. Over to you, sir, Dr. Bhaskar Ashir.
My slides will my slides will be on the screen. At the outset, I want to thank the organizer deliver this talk that diabetes and health. Prevalence of diabetes is also increasing, and prevalence of diabetes also increasing, and so also the prevalence of the erectile dysfunction is also very common in day-to-day practice. Optimal with the earlier speakers, philosophy and the lifestyle treatment on genital system. And my challenge is to post some scientific data in front of you in a very short period of time. And that's a challenge offered to me, and I'll try to do it this in 15 minutes. The first challenge which comes to us when you try to dig out the history of erectile dysfunction, the patient either understates the history or they even give less importance or they don't like it. In my practice also, one political leader who is approaching me for a diabetes treatment, I don't know the name, has stopped coming me when I dig up his history of erectile dysfunction. This is because early times it is labeled as importance. And somewhat the stigma attached to the word as importance. So erectile dysfunction earlier it was importance defined as the inability to attain and or sustain in an erection for satisfactory sexual performance and consistent or the consistent recurrent inability to attain or maintain benign erection. If you look at the prevalence, as the age advances, the prevalence increases. Even you can see the importance of it such an earlier age. It is at the age of 20 to 39, at 5.1%. And at age 70 plus years, you can experience the prevalence of 70.2%. And this rising prevalence commonly in diabetic and non-diabetic people also. Diabetic patients have earlier likely to have experienced this problem 10 to 15 years earlier than the normal population. So even at younger age groups also, the problem starts. And to identify such patients and to treat them properly and at proper time is our duty. Simple clinical tools like IMEF, that is International Erectile Function Score, and I'm going to explain you later. Five is a simple question, in simple terms. We can identify which are patients at very high risk and which are at earlier stage and which are at severe stage of erectile dysfunction. The prevalence in India, in diabetic Indian population, is about 50.4% after 40 years. And this age group also, the diabetes also very highly prevalent. The prevalence of PD increases in the using age. Many causes are there for erectile dysfunctions, like psychological causes, anxiety, psychological trauma, depression, psychosis, and misconceptions. Vascular causes, the supply of the penis or the erectile tissue in females also, when affected by vascular disease or hypertension or venous leak, can cause the erectile dysfunction. Neurological causes like stroke, peripheral neuropathy, multiple sclerosis, spinal and pelvic injury. Endocrine metabolic causes include diabetes, hypogonadism, thyroid dysfunction, hypothyroidism, hypoglycemia, hyperlipidemia, liver disease, and renal diseases. And now recently, SLIP1 gene, associated SLIP1 gene in mice or animals also and mammals has found that it is associated with future erectile dysfunction. So that could be a line of treatment in future. So we can think of their implication, therapeutic implication in future also. And type 2 diabetic genes association and erectile dysfunction also very commonly associated in these patients. So genetic factor has to now become more prominent, and we have to find that there are clinical implications as well as the therapeutic implications of these factors. Other causes like smoking, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, structural abnormalities of the organs, and surgery and trauma contribute for erectile dysfunctions. To understand erectile dysfunction properly, it is mandatory to understand the physiology of erection and orchestrate a simple, comprehensive knowledge of anatomy, vascular supply, nerve supply, cellular mechanism, and molecular mechanism is mandatory. This is just a cross section, suggestive section of a pelvic area, which shows that the relationship between male sex organs and okay, so that's the concept of pain. And training is composed of three significant structure. As you know that it's a corpus cavernous, the dorsally located, and corpus spongiosum. And these are the structures which contain lot of blood. And when there is ample of blood during erectile phase, the pressure rises to the tune of 100 millimeters of mercury in cavernous space. In spongial space, it rises to 1/5 of the cavernous space. And this is because the tunica there in the sponges space is little bit loose and the sinusoids are more wide. And in the cavernous space, they are more tight and they are more dense collagenous layer is there. So the tightness is consists cross. If you look at the cross section, centrally these two corpus cavernosa in the center there are arterial blood supply, and ventrally there is a corpus spongiosum which contains the urethra, and at the top below the tunica album, the centrally there is a pen, there is imaginary pen, and the artery supply and nerve supply is there. So all factors together they contribute for the erectile function. How they work? So during the flaccid stage, the smooth muscles of covering the trabeculae in the sinus sides, vascular trabecular sinus side, they are in contracted stage. At that time, there is very less blood supply, and that time they never get when this all the organ remains in flaccid state. Here is again a cross section and a longitudinal section of the organ during flaccid state and a cross section state. Upper cushion shows on your left side is a lateral view and transfer view of flaccid state respectively. And you can very well notice that the corpus spongiosum and the corpus cavernosa have very little blood supply in them, and the imaginary veins and deep dorsal veins they are open and engorged, and the arterial supply which are called as helicine arteries. These arteries are they are torches and they provide a very less supply. In erectile phase, the reverse happen, and when there is no equipment, the sinusoid get filled up with the blood. There is a rising pressure which compresses the alveolar from inside. Invasive veins which drain the blood towards the pudendal vein and dorsal vein of penis for reduction of it. They get compressed, and there is compression. And because of this compression, the erection is sustained for a long time during intercourse. At the same time, the sensory motor nerve supply, which is arising from the S2 to S4 spinal segments, so this supply is responsible for providing the sensation coming from the glands for repetitive sexual stimulation, and which contributes stimulus to the ischiocavernosus and bulbospinous muscles, which compresses the fluid of the corpus cavernosa and corpus spongiosum respectively. So they also contribute forcing the blood inside the tissue of the dorsal corpus cavernosa corpus spongiosum, and that contributes very high pressure and it welfares the erection during the complete phase. So during intercourse, it starts from the relaxation of smooth muscles, and there is a accumulation of blood itself. Then there is a compression of venules. Then there is a compression of the associated muscles. So they increase the pressure simultaneously. The ischiobulbous muscle also contribute to press the urethra which travel through the ventral chamber, that is corpus spongiosum. It presses the urethra, and that helps for the forceful ejection of the semen during the phase. When there is a relaxation, the phase of intercourse gets over, then the muscles start contracting. So in first when there is a slight rise in intracameral pressure because of contraction of smooth muscle surrounding the vascular compartment. Then the veins open up, the pressure starts flowing gradually. Well, 5 minutes. Okay. I'll try to finish it, but let me clear complete. And then this pressure falls gradually, and then the third phase is the rapid fall of this pressure and the flaccid plate is achieved. The female also, this process happens, and finally they get analogous organs is clitoris, corpus cavernous present, and crest of clitoris is there. So female also experience the erectile function. On your left side, it's a partial, and your on the right hand side is a full erectile function. So females are also have erectile dysfunction noticed in the diabetes. This is all happens because of the molecular level, because of the calcium in the smooth muscles of the penis. So, if calcium gets when accumulated in the intracellular accumulation rises in the smooth muscles of the penis, it forms a compound. It forms a compound with calmodulin, and this calmodulin activates the myosin ATPase and activation of myosin ATPase. It stimulates the cross linkage which between the at the bottom of the figure, the actin fibers, and they contracts. When this calcium is when expelled out, or it this I mean the exactly reverse happens. The muscles start reacting, and all this process is depend upon the endothelial and the hormonal neurochemical secretions. So during flaccid state, endothelium secretes the endothelium secretes let me just so prostaglandins and this prostaglandins and also the nerve endings, the similarly nerve they secret non-epinephrine. So these two contribute for accumulation of calcium, and in erectile phase the reverse happen, and where the cyclic GMP and cyclic GMP gets secreted intracellularly, and which gives the stimulus where the calcium gets sequestered in reticulum, it pumps up, potassium pumped out, the cell get hyperpolarized and muscle get relaxed. So this is all at the molecular levels of this. All this physiology is important to understand the treatment what is going on. I think the very great question on me. So can we extend that for 5 minutes with audience maybe by 5 to 10 minutes? If you are finding interesting, otherwise I have to stop here in between. So with the audience request, shall I continue? Yes. Because it's very if you want to understand this physiology and changes, will miss lot of data. So give me one different so my organize. Yeah, but I want to did all the how so actually one thing. Can get more focus on diet is not our business. It's totally. So time to that. Okay. So diabetes is again contribute for various metabolic changes and failure mechanism of nitric oxide synthesis, and there is increased like glucose formation products, then failure of intracellular signaling, and there is androgen loss and endothelial dysfunction and neuropathy affection, and there is cardiovascular points, and all this will contribute to the dysfunction. And neuropathy and downward structural functional changes will contribute to diabetic erectile dysfunction. So, in the medical features of erectile dysfunction is usually gradual onset. Electrical onset will indicate psychogenic cause, and loss of libido is consistently hyperthyroidism, not only reliability. When we say ED, understand the sex trend for the variety of causes. The assessment of ED that comes by direct exemplary diabetes test and medications. Clinical examination and the points that you find the assessment is important. Investigations to know the serum testosterone levels, monitoring levels, utilizing hormones, assessment of cardiovascular status, and other investigative points. So, interest of erectile function, finally defined, covers 5 questions, and according to the severity, they are graded to 5. able to maintain your erection after you have penetrated or you are with your partner. So it covers whole process from stimulation or to sexual process to orgasm, and accordingly the marks are given and the scores depending on scores. You can say it's erectile dysfunction, and you can decide the severity of erectile dysfunction. So certain important interpretations are in diabetes, it has been listed that among the condition that lowers the sex hormone binding globulins and the testosterone levels also. So in these cases, the clinician has to consider three testosterone levels which have to be less than 64 picograms per ml and confirm the presence of hypothyroidism. So the restriction of lumen of cavernous artery. So structural change is there, and which can be calculated on PSA value. So PSA value cutoff should be from 25 to 35 centimeters per second. Conversely,
Yeah, and Dr. Archie.
Moderator. And current founder, Vice Chancellor, Odisha, University of Philippines.
Good afternoon, good evening, everything. I would like to invite my panelists first. Dr. Deshpande, Dr. Anand Singh, Dr. Ravindra Shafi, Dr. Rahul Reddy, Dr. Nisma Deshpande, and of course, Dr. Anita Shah. I think some chairs may be different. Now, while testing panelists, very learned panelists are speaking in stage, I know in the audience that luminaries, experts, journalists in the field of sexuality are available, and I think when we steer through, because then the time constraint, when we steer through, we will definitely at the end of it, when we bit of time, we may also request the audience opinion about our performance and what we have left. But the disclosure is that, well, during this, we have got 5 case scenario. And in this 5 case scenario, we may not be able to cover everything related to an unregulated marriage. But I'm pretty sure if someone thinks that you encounter during clinical practice, unconjugated marriage, will definitely be having little more knowledge and contributed by the panelists. And of course, if the audience has to contribute something more, then also it is also welcome. Now, it is said that if a man's life is not immediately interrupted, it is said that if a man's life is not immediately, then the next thing he thinks is about sex. If his life is not in danger, then the next thing he thinks is about the sex. Now, it is also said that man has many factors. That is a bigger value for the individual. Now, with this, we have very, learned panel, and we have few cases scenario. Before that, I would like to mention what do we understand by unconjugated marriage? Unconjugated marriage refers to marriage that wife and husband have a sexual relationship. Now, there is a tribe in Uganda. They have a tradition that before the girl who is groomed for a marriage, in Uganda, either the lady that is like the sex is not sexually suitable. So there is a patterning process for those people, those girls, when they're grooming, they get married. And the tradition is that the aunt of the girl will have the first experience with the man, the bridegroom, so that he doesn't, if he sacrifice, if she sacrifice, that he is potent, then only the marriage will be solemnized. So there are some traditions. In India also we have some traditions. If you go back, the tradition was in royalty. The first consummation is before the king. That was the tradition we had in different part of the country. Now, what is consummation was being was from? To bring a completion or fruition, to complete a marriage with the first act of sexual intercourse after the ceremony, to fulfill, that is, the sexual desire or attraction, especially by intercourse. So there are many things. Conjugal by many traditions and statutes of civil or religious law, the first or the officially first credited act of sexual intercourse between two people, either following their marriage or after their sexual attractions. Now, coitus, when we talk about coitus or coit, that is a Latin term because the insertion of the penis into the vagina. When we discussion of now when we are discussing the unconsummated marriage means there has never been a pedo-vaginal intercourse. So that is what the definition they are going to show. So this is the most common form of sexual intercourse. It is also the only kind of sexual intercourse that can lead a conception of a child. The coitus, for more couples in most cultures, sex equal to intercourse. There have been human societies where sexual contact between males and females was restricted to only coitus, no foreplay. There are very many countries, particularly African countries, they do not allow anything. The child is taught from the beginning that besides intercourse, everything is forbidden. Now, such society, if they put a heavy emphasis on the procreative function, not the creative function. In India, there are still two integral procreate cells. Now, coming to wedding landscape, marriage side will integrate couples into an integrated system of community ties and obligations which are primarily based on economic and political function rather than romance. Marriage regulated sex and the wedding night fulfilled the rituals of permitting sex. This is the permission. Even in our country, the premarital sex is looked down on. Even now, also in all our society. These are the ritual of sex, necessary act, and night will be about intimacy, the first night of the wedding night, the private celebrations of the marriage. Now, what is the unconsummated marriage? The unconsummated marriage, there are many definitions. I only highlight a few definitions. Unconsummated marriage can be defined as a failure to perform successful sexual intercourse at the beginning of the marriage, or it is called honeymoon or wedding night importance, half night dysfunction, and failure of preparation. It is a common medical and social problem facing medical practitioners, community, and as well as societies. Now, the definition is a disorder in which couple unable to achieve that is a benign vaginal penetration despite recurrent attempts in a certain period of time. Unconjugated marriage is a formal marital relationship in which benign penetration vagina did not take place and the situation is a source of stress for either or both the spouses. Now, this is what graphically these are the causes that are enumerated in the text and out of the experience of different generations. Now, coming, what is very important, my panelists, that whenever we are discussing about the unconsummated, these are the things we have to keep in mind because history taking gives at least 50 to 60% of the clue what will be the cause of non-consummation. And history should be taken separately and together with the wife. Because many informations cannot be revealed in our sexuality practices, only separate interview of both the partners. Physical examination is male and female when required. Routine investigation, most cases sugar, not young because they are younger couple. Hormone are say bad. And many times being an analogist, I may have been biased from the assessment of a unconsummated marriage in the form of office center test or ICB test. Counseling plays a major role and follow to know whether they have benefited or not. This is a step-wise management. Now, I'll come to the case scenario. I have 5 cases, and each case will have 2 questions. Now, I start with this case scenario. Scenario 1, couple has been 41, divided 32, married for 6. And this is the island. Most of the uncultivated parents represent to the obstetrician gynecology for infertility rather than coming to a sexology or this. Gynecologists do all investigations, evaluation, and everything. Or he's only imaginary. Answer.
First is
Yeah. Well,
extreme classic after ejaculation or before ejaculation.
yeah, that is very significant. This is the importance of relevant and specific information you have to look into. Because this question, it is very much confused most of the time whether it is a loss of erection or a loss of erection or a early ejaculation. That has to be differentiated from the history. He immediately ejaculates in each chapter before penetration. For last 4 years, it is neither having erection nor ejaculation has stopped intercourse sexual. So how will you approach next? I think Dr. Sate.
Stop having sex.
Yeah.
This is a very important question that men sometimes, after repeated failures, tend to lose interest in sex. and then they shy away from their wives and do not have sex with them at all.
Can we use this is called it's a sexual accessory. So I call which actually resembles the model of a vagina, and it can and just like a yeah, it's like a
Okay. Coming down. Now let's 29, 26 years male female, and they had UCM for 2 years, married for 2 years, UCM. On evaluation, husband had no physical authority and he has good erection during masturbation. Wife on inquiry said that she does not experience any penetration during sexual. Now, how do you evaluate? Questions. We have half an hour, I have only talked 10, 11 minutes. So please don't interrupt. Yeah. As somebody is drinking and it is distracting to us.
Male and female both being normal. It boils down to faulty sexual position.
No, I think it is Dr. Sate. You have to take up the details.
So, since both of them are normal, and since you have said that they have attempted sex but not being able to consummate, usually it happens in sexual
Do you
novices.
believe the time that you have told me this rejection?
The man, yes, if he's having, if he has told us that he's getting erection due to masturbation, I would believe him.
Would you not confirm from the wife? When he's like saying, you should have been sex.
Yes, but if he's even going close to her and she's not able to see him, even feel his erection.
Because the wife would put his place. Now, what could be the reasons of non-conjugation? I given the ground of verb for
Where no one's.
How community of blacks of sector will be called of consumption with me? To each language quickly.
Yeah, so the noviceness in sex is quite common and all across India. I've seen it even in urban educated.
Another one, quickly.
I totally agree. It's a very common thing, and I've even seen it in highly educated professionals. In fact, I had a couple of recently, both were physicians, and they see that was a victim.
How many thought is this in our mind? Thinking down, anything, nothing. No, send to a counselor and given details of double demonstration. What we do now, we will get the counselor. Coming back to the case, one was counseled whether the COVID presence of happens. And that is how it happened. Because it's a lack of sexual knowledge of a contributing factor in oncology in India, illiterate, procedure with strong religious background among rural population. Third, multidisciplinary happening. Multidisciplinary approach is very much essential in this type of cases. Confidence building, using to be inside inhibitors, IC bag for sustained injection, AIT not to be considered if there is a strong demand by this parents. That should not be given the priority around.
Almost 2 years. Every time he comes to me, same thing.
Oh, this is another accepted.
No, sir.
Accepted.
No, sir.
So because these types of scenarios are very common, and I usually don't accept that.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes or no?
I don't accept the offer to educate, but it's not my business.
Madam. Okay.
You accept. I will accept, okay.
Yeah, this is the silence. Okay. So I have already told about the innovatives. Okay. Yes, Rahul. You will talk now. Because the video will come back. What will you do? What sector call for and perception of pain. The perception of pain. Practically, they were having perceptual dysphoria this perceptual painful section and the perceptual pain, dysphoria, but this was really common cause of unconsummated illness. Each one has to be discriminated because the treatment modality may differ. Amazing congenital construction links, vulvovaginitis, and vaginal. When when I was doing my residency in PGI Chandigarh, one couple, infertility, very okay. Whenever we discover, when I was trying to do a 3D delay, I put my finger and it went into a huge cavity. So they were having intercourse. Now, scenario 4, the organization collect in that time. Young bureaucrat, 20 years, 20 interested in his wife is 25 years old. Bureaucrat, he's an IPS officer, his wife is a bank employee. And both they had come to our league for having a child, for the purpose of having a child. And it was a happy sexual life. They were adapted to oral sex. And the wife had adopted. Both had adopted. Since both had a past, to go for a child. How common is this situation? Quickly, panelists.
From Jacob.
Very common. Quickly, Dr. Rare. Rare. Come on. Because that is it. How common? Yes. Your enterprise here to this. Very common. Come on. Now, that is one word. Very common. I see it very common. Now, say like now, what should be the approach in this case? Now, this is one of the more difficult case. For example, everybody will think that I will go for nice one. Am I correct? But what should, as an andrologist, I would not succumb to their demand. Because what happens? They can have a child with some assisted reproduction technique, but they will not consummate in the true sense of the term. They will never consummate in the true sense of the term. I will say, couple are
We don't have to change it. Unless for
I have a observation here. I don't know. See, yes. See, we have a term called DICS. No head, no double income, no kids couples. And I'm saying double income, no kids, no sex couples. They are not interested in sex. So from that point of view, my viewpoint, I'll say one thing. Well, they can have child by assisted reproductive technique. But the fact is, why they have accepted this for? It is the lady who has accepted, not the gents. So would you allow the accept under compulsion? Because you try to know from the reason, see if you really do that. You have the fraud there. Accepting because the problem. Yeah. I've had couples like this who have been convinced to have sex therapy. They have finally managed to consummate the marriage, but the lady is miserable. And they have ended up reverting back to the original form of ritual masturbation or orgasm. The whole point was once she has semen and she gets pregnant, the whole sex therapy program collapses. Yeah, it's okay. This is the ethical issue quickly. To go by ethical issue from the doctor's point of view. No. No, it's a consenting couple. Why should the council be consenting to ART? Both are normal. Consenting to university also. So consenting to ART after failure of evaluation, not finding any way in the indication. Right. Now, what should the management? Detailed satisfactory can be lead to this behavior. This particularly multimodal approach for successful conservation. In recording process, IDH may be tried when I exerted all our modality of management. We may accept everything and analyze the decision later. I must take help from a person who is better knowledge in the field before I take a decision, and particularly a group of doctors is taking a decision in the field. This is a large case and also a very interesting case. 30-year man, 25-year-old from a remote rural area, were put over this. Presented to candidates for infertility, evolution failed to absolutely down. And this is the pity with us. We get a female evolution infant, they agree of the one. You will never agree with me. We agree to disagree. Okay. Man could not provide seven samples despite several items. The report were against the belt indication was referred because he could not provide seven samples at the now, when we are not having equal persons, madam, like creation. Now, on further to this, wives are insect with the labor. This is not very uncommon phenomenon in our society. With heavy domestic pressure, they consulted my introductory treatment. I have got a very big ethical question as I proceed. Now, how do you evaluate further? There is a fourth case, fifth case. I think we should involve Dr. Anita. Yeah. Quickly. Organizing these brainstorm at me. Quickly.
So I guess here in this particular case, I would like to inquire from the history, detailed history from the history. How is his erection? Is he able to maintain it?
Only given. Not only erection. Right from the beginning, undocumented, one erection. Yeah. The man aside and withdrawn. The couple was counsel given set up one in India. That's not our country. They came to consider. Man says, he's not like into construction hourly. What should be your next test? ICBET test I did. Because man had a good election privacy lasting for 2 hours. He was counseled for the even ICI for use at home, and we proposed. That is what the question was. Very important. So he came back after 3 months and I got the wife. You are not using ICI and avoiding sex. Frustrated wife was not demanding ARV from his labor. Would you accept that? No. Although, only. She was refused of her demand and they left. Now the good question comes. 6 months later, couple returned for consultation. The female came alone and revealed with utmost request not to divulge about her pregnancy. 3 months, not better. Request is something man somehow could impress your husband by offering a dummy artificial picture. How to proceed in this case? And for that, the husband into confidence in immediate that he is right. Now the challenge comes. Panel to way. So after.
So as a counselor and as a doctor, I would still not, or I would not.
Yeah.
I just want to, my difficulty, I have been very trusty. Now, all these cases that you presented, they fail to medical help for infertility. Now, in this era, when so much information is available, and when they waited for 2 years, 4 years, 5 years with this sexual dysfunction, none of them came for consultation to sexual dysfunction. Why?
I
This is my second question was, in present era, when there is IUI and other artificial reproduction, what is the difficult part on consummation?
Quick
Sir, surgical support retrieval is possible in that husband who doesn't exist. And she can get biological child of her own husband.
Now, this is scenario different. Comes with the pregnancy.
You can do anything.
This year, what was done, what have been done. That is the one. Audience, what they would like to do. This is the final question to the audience. How will you accept the pregnancy and do a dominant insemination? This is like the it's not what? I don't remember very well. I mean, सारे things are there. Who are we to open? Just trying to get with me. Right, not you, sir. I know. So, moving forward, not possible answer. Now I complete this forum. I don't want to go into further into the detail. I thank all my panelists, Hindu and Star, my madam, my respected madam, Yuma and Janita for giving the opportunity, but because of the possibility to discuss more, before I conclude again, thanks to the organizer for the opportunity, and thank you all. Hope you are enjoying this. We have a surprise guest today, Dr. Mohan Agashe. Address a few words before we
Actually, I will request Dr. Mohan sir to facilitate all our panelists and moderator.
Yeah, I don't know. That's it, you know. What's up with that? Ah.
Anand Shinde.
I feel completely illiterate in your conference. But I'm very happy that I didn't have to be a speaker in your conference. For two reasons. The limited time given would have left me completely dissatisfied compared to the vastness of the issue. And moreover, I have some fundamental questions since my childhood and even after doing medicine. And whether a lot of sexual problems have been created by us and the society and the rules of the society. Now, in our last panel discussion, we have seen a particular tradition to assess the potency of a prospective husband by an aunt. I'm sure many of you have seen Amol Palekar's famous film Anahat, where it was not uncustomary, but rather it was customary that if the king would not produce a child officially, it was a kind of a celebration to invite a very different and talented person to have intercourse with the queen. And the fact is, he would not see the queen, neither queen would see him. And after that, he would never see the face of the queen again. So if we follow the ancient times in today, I think at different times society have had different rules and different norms for accepting. But without going into scholastic details, I have a very simple layman question. That on one hand, socially and medically, when we accept that like hunger is a natural biological need, after human need, sex is a biological need. Now, if the fact has been scientifically accepted, I do not know what steps science has taken to ensure that this biological need is provided for by the social sanction. One has been doing early child marriages where at least this was taken care of. And the wise men of any time never have advised sex unless it was essential. पूर्वीच्या काळी एक प्रथा अशी होती, the custom that in adolescent age, if a strange behavior is observed, the general advice given by a wise person was to get him married because that was one of the most common causes of losing concentration, focus of life and everything. And when this advice was given by a wise man, generally it helped to solve the problem. But unfortunately, there are very few wise men. And we do a lot of following of others. Coming from my own experience in psychiatry about electroconvulsive therapy, there's a kind of a wonderful therapy found. There is no other therapy really misused in psychiatry like electroconvulsive therapy. So it fell into disrepute, and now once again we have to convince how effective it is to get given in a proper condition at proper time. So provision of sex at proper time and in a proper manner can certainly help a person to settle emotionally and even in life personality. I would like to quote only by general observation that the intelligent girls from my class of 65 admission in Bishop Medical College, those who had married in the third year became in the merit list. And this is a fact. If you meet him in private, I will tell you the names. And many of the bright students who went away because they were not sick. Let me end on a true, but a note on which I think you should think. When I was about 20 or 21 years of age, I definitely felt like having sex. But it's not only sex. Sex is the ultimate goal. It's a tool to develop a relationship. So I was primarily interested in having a relationship. And more often than not, in these times, sex is a tool to develop a relationship. And if that ends in developing a relationship, sex takes a secondary position and ultimately is eliminated, but the relationship stays. And if sex doesn't help to develop a relationship, though the marriage is consummated, I think it's an unsuccessful marriage. So, around that time, when I felt, and out of curiosity, I asked my other parents, why shouldn't I get married? Because that was the only socially sanctioned way. In fact, if you know, our earlier wedding invitations clearly stated, ची सौका अमुक तमुक हे यांच्या कृपेने चिरंजीव अमुक तमुक यांच्याशी शरीर संबंध करण्याचे योजने आहे. See, the clarity of thinking is remarkable, and it's socially declared that they are being wed so that their sexual relation should be considered official, and any outcome of that should have a social respect. And that concept of bottleneck. But when I asked this question, my father said, "तर ते सांगत नाही चांगलं, स्वतःच्या पायावर उभा राहा. First get settled. Then we will think of marriage." आता तुम्ही मला जर क्षमा केली, पण सेक्स बद्दल बोलतो त्यामुळे सेक्शुअल टर्मिनॉलॉजी वापरली तर काही वाईट वाटून घेऊ नका. असे म्हणते गांडी आणि लग्नाच्या गांडी. What it means, first get settled, then we will think of marriage. And my counter question to them was, dear dad and mom, I want to get married because I want to settle. I need to know to decide what is settling down and what is needed. Thank you very much. Very much for accommodating me in the last minute and allow me to come here for your formal evaluation. Thank you very much.
Sir, I request sir to take a seat for a few moments. We'll just be starting our inauguration program. After some time you can. Yeah.
It's okay. Yes. I'll sit get up and.
Now we will be starting the inauguration of the program. Formal inauguration. I would invite our chief guest, Dr. Professor Padma Shri Professor Emeritus Dr. Alka Deshpande Madam, and Dr. Rajendra Satis, organizing chairman, would be accompanying her. Invite our guest of honor, Professor Mohan Agashi sir, to be accompanied by Dr. Rajendra Satis sir. Now I would like to invite our guest of honor, Padma Shri Professor Emeritus Dr. Prakash Kothari sir, to be accompanied by Dr. J sir on the dais. Along with our treasurer, Dr. Suresh Rudrappa sir,
One, sir, immediately Maharashtra meeting comes the administrator to be accompanied by Dr. Mahendrapal Kharejas on the line. Secretary Dr. J.K. to the dais. Now I would like to invite our organizing chairperson to the dais. Dr. Mohan Akash had some other commitments, so he had to leave. Please bear with us. We are waiting for our SEPI chairperson. Now I request our chairperson, Dr. G. Venkatramana sir, to come on dais and take this position.
to offer flowers and bouquets to all our dignitaries on the dais.
Let's go through.
Yeah. for hand lighting ceremony.
Rush.
Now I would like to invite our organizing chairperson, the cool and calm, Dr. Rajendra Sade, to address the house.
Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, honored speakers, invitees, and dear participants. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all for the Council of Sex Education and Parenthood organized conference here. We are gathered in this lively, historic city of Pune, a place that perfectly balances tradition with modernity. And I must say that there is no better venue for an event than the iconic PYC in the Gymkhana, where history meets innovation, much like the conversations that we have had in the last few yesterday. As a special welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Alka Deshpande, who is distinguished presence, adds to tremendous value of your dedication. Your dedication to advancing health and education inspires us all, and we are honored to have you here with us today. I also extend a warm welcome to our guests of honor, Padma Shri Professor Dr. Prakash Kothari, Dr. Bhatteshwar Kota, Dr. Rinko, Viki Varman, and Dr. Mohan Aditya has come in, Dr. Jayaji Nath, and Dr. Venkatram. Thank you for taking the time to be with us and sharing your perspective. Namaste and welcome to all our international faculty, especially the Hartman and Anita Shah, who have flown all the way from the United States. I hope that this is your first visit to India and it's truly enjoyable. I expect that you return to be with us in future and see other areas of our beautiful country. I would like to encourage all of you colleagues to in the field to connect with us for future CSEPI events. A special thanks to our chairperson, Dr. G. Venkatramana, whose leadership and dedication continue to guide us and in addressing evolving issues of sexual health, and the former chairperson, Dr. Sanjay Deshpande, and chairperson emeritus, Dr. Narayana Reddy. Dr. Amit Mutha's organizing secretary for this conference has done phenomenal work. Your support has been invaluable in every sense. The Pune local organizing committee has worked tirelessly, and in the last 2 days, which would be crucial for us. The following ladies we wish to thank as the first edition of Ashwini, Rushita, Madhumita, Kalpana, and then Vivek, Madan, Praveen, and Sanjay. all of them from our Pune conference is said. Let's not forget our founders, especially Dr. Maninder Vatsal and Dr. Vittal Prabhu, who laid the groundwork for this incredible organization. The pioneering spirit continues to inspire us all. And as we dive deep into this year's theme, the sexuality of the digital era and pitfalls and benefits. The digital world has brought us together a wealth of opportunity, but it has also presented new challenges. Over the next few days, we will explore the premises and the pitfalls of the digital. In addition to the simulation discussions, we have a fun-filled activities planned. Tonight, we'll be treated with the talks orchestra, a fantastic chance to see our whole medical faculty colleagues and faculty, Rasmeet Singh and Dr. Prasad Gadre, who in a new light sense. Sequence and timing is key to both orchestration and neurotransmitter direction in music, dance, and sex. And I'm quite sure that here tonight we will do that music and dance part. From tomorrow night, we have a colorful and a lovely night where Marathi tradition takes the center stage. And what's great for conference without great food. I hope you enjoyed the lunch today. Our Ganpati Bappa favorite modak, and I'm sure that you can get very good food in the next few days also. Please do open the box of special goodies given to you from by us from Chikale Bandhu Mithai Wale. It's there in our gift bag, and that's where and sex always go together. Before I finish, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to PYC Hindu Gymkhana, office bearers for their generous hospitality and support in making this conference possible. A big thank you to Mr. Kumar Damani, the President, Secretary Sharan Lahu, and of course the special shout out to my mischievous tennis champions group mate and tennis secretary Abhishek Damani, uh, who have been playing with us in the standard forehand on the tennis court. Thanks to Manish, Prasad, Shankar, and the entire CPC staff who have been working tirelessly to ensure that everything runs smooth. Special thanks to event managers, Goldie, RS, Steve, Uma, Hase. I thank you all for joining us today in this exciting and modern journey. And I'm confident that this conference will not only end itself, but also be a lot of fun. After all, what really happens when we are engaged in open and maybe just a little playful. So enjoy the conference, the discussions, the talks, the orchestra tonight, and of course the lounge night tomorrow. And just remember that what happens at the end night stays at lounge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite our SEPI chairperson, Dr. G. Venkatramana, to address the house.
Respected chief guest of this evening, Madam Alka Deshpande ji, and our respected guest of honor, Dr. Vinky Rugwani ji, and our sex guru, known worldwide, Padmasri. Our Guruvara is sitting here, he knows no introduction, but yet it is my duty to introduce, to tell my gratitude, Prakash Patari ji, and my best friend and elder brother, Dr. Dakteshwar Hoda ji, and my friends here sitting here, Dr. J.K. Nath ji, Dr. Suresh Rudrappa ji, and that dual persons, this combination, two people have done wonders in Pune, Dr. Sate and Dr. Mutta, and my dear Indian and international faculty and senior faculty sitting off the dais, and my friends and professional colleagues. You all know you all know science is such a thing, it's a dynamic subject. It goes on changing. We healthcare providers who are practicing the medical science has to be up to the mark. Otherwise, we will be thrown out from the practice by the patients. So, in order to know what's happening around the world, conferences, workshops, journals, for exchanging knowledge and sharing knowledge, it becomes mandatory. That's why our CSEPI for the last 40 years striving hard and conducting annual conferences and bringing the what is latest thing across the world and giving knowledge to the participants so that they can utilize this knowledge and help the needy patients in their practice. So this is the 40th national conference. It's occurring in the city of Pune. And again, once again, I am telling this two duo has done wonders here. And I wish you all this conference a great success. And I request all of you to enjoy, share the enjoy the hospitality, take the knowledge back, utilize in your practice, and do beautiful for the needy patients. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai CSCPI.
Now I would like to invite our guest of honors for their invaluable thoughts. Padma Shri Dr. Prakash Kodani.
हम लोग सब साथ में आ ही रहे थे तो डॉक्टर होटा जस्ट टोल्ड मी कि भीड़ क्यों लगी मैंने बोला भाई ये भीड़ नहीं है खुदा के घर से कुछ फरिश्ते फरार हो गए फरिश्ता माने एंजल्स खुदा के घर से कुछ फरिश्ते फरार हो गए कुछ पकड़े गए और कुछ डॉक्टर साथे और डॉक्टर मोटा के यार ये सब उनके यार Well, it's indeed a pleasure for me to be among you this evening. To be honest, 55 years ago, when I started my practice, easily available erotica was only one, and that was Mastara. Today, you will find pornography just with the pressing of a button. In the days of old, the long distance relationships were by writing long, long love letters. Today, with the advent of internet, video calls, and remote controlled sex toys are just a handle. Not only that, we all know that sex education is not given in schools and colleges. Any case which you see, whether psychological or organic, when it goes to the doctor, the physician, you'll find one thing in common. That there is tremendous anxiety over a sexual situation, which is usually brought about by the negative feelings. This gets in with experience of failure. The failure recurs, anxiety increases, and a vicious cycle gets set up in which hostility, shame, guilt, and fear become the part of the pattern for any problem. But unlike West, this particular anxiety in our country is born out of myths, misconceptions, and misinformation. Well, all right. So these misinformations are abundant. Misconceptions are beyond your imagination. To combat all these things, to combat these misconceptions, to combat these myths, I have uploaded 30 videos on YouTube, which is totally free of charge and which explains almost every aspect of sexuality. It's sort of an encyclopedia, just complete course on sexual response. It's on the available on the YouTube, and you'll be surprised to know just in few months it has got more than a million views. Sir, even the theme of the conference is covered in that, and extensive. But I must tell you that what Dr. Mutha and Dr. Sate have worked for this conference is really commendable. And I would congratulate both of them for excellent administration and equally good scientific content for the delegates. I congratulate both of you and thank you.
Now I would like to invite Dr. Datteshwar Buddha for his remarks.
Jagannath Swami Nayanapadagami Bhavatame. I bring greetings from Odisha and blessings of Lord Jagannath to all of you. It is privilege and honor that I am sitting along with two Padmas leaders, Professor Alka Deshpande, and of course, I am so influenced, you are influenced yourself. Dr. Prakash Kothari, Dr. Dikhi Gurwani, my friend, Professor Venkat Ramana, Dr. Nath, Dr. Suresh, our friend, everyone of you, Dr. Sate, and of course, Dr. Amit Mutha, the person from behind the one leader after all, our friend and good guide, the executive chairman, Dr. Lega, Dr. Raj Brahmavat, whom I look for any sort of imbibing things. All my very close colleague of CSCPI. Well, I don't want to take much of time, but I would like to definitely mention one thing. I use the group, that is inside the group, and inject the group. I am part of, I might not be, you might not see the portion often, but the amount of information that I have derived from this group, I am part of some 35 groups. I hardly see them. And when I miss a day, I find hundreds of messages. If I miss a day, so I have to find time to again go back to read those messages. It is so informative and so humorous, both informative as well as humorous. I must admire this CSCI. I feel very fortunate that I am a member. I think I am a member of many societies. In fact, I am the chairman of the Androgy section of the Welfare Society of India at the present. So we have many groups, Yoga Society, NLC group, and so many. But I find this group to be most close to my heart. Well, this theme of the conference has already has been told that sexual health in digital era. Today I was listening to the oration about the artificial intelligence. And I heard here itself that 40 years of struggle we have come. We should not lose out to the artificial intelligence. While I was hearing the discussion by our esteemed speaker, I realized A lot of instrument has come, lot of instruments, but the haptic sensation, the touch, not only in our profession, but also in our system. The haptic sensation cannot be ignored. The mind cannot be missed, even if we become extremely digital. Many a time we feel that when we are going for digitalization, the AI, the machine learning, the deep learning, whatever we talk about, it is only the human mind that makes the. We may fit data into the AI. It may not provide the diagnosis, what as an individual applying our brain, what diagnosis we can make. As a psychiatrist, Dr. Rao will definitely agree with me that, you may provide lots of data, millions of data, but psychoanalysis is not that. So psychoanalysis has to be done individual. So AI can supplement, but cannot replace. So that is what I would like to mention. I know that we are going to deliver for the coming few days many more things on the digital age, digital era, and sexual health. I stop here, thanking and feeling very privileged to be amongst both my admirable, seniors, guide, philosopher, and never friends. So thank you all, and I look forward to a very good conference in the coming days. Thank you.
Now I request Dr. B.P. Rugwani sir, Government Administrator, to share his thoughts on this conference.
Good afternoon, all. Sitting on the Honorable Madam Deshpande, sir, sir, Venkat sir, Raj sir, uh, the organizers, one, Rajesh sir, and Amit ji. Uh, Actually, when I got a call for this conference by Amit ji, I told him that I'm nowhere concerned. I'm a pediatrician basically. So nowhere concerned about regarding this subject. He said, no, you have to come as a guest of honor. You are heading the Maharashtra Medical Council, so you come. So then I said, अरे मैं बहुत छोटा आदमी हूँ, वहाँ बड़े बड़े लोग हैं. Even when I come here and I see the dais, the beauty of dais, the stalwarts who are sitting in front of me, I feel proud of it that I am here in front of you. Now, we all know that the digitalization has taken this world to the next level. But this education regarding this sexual health has opportunities as well as challenges, which are you all people know about it. And the advancements are there, but there are pitfalls also. We have access of information. There's a lot of information which is coming, sir rightly said, misinformation is coming, more of misinformation, the wrong deeds, the wrong things which are coming in front of us. So this we know there is a lot of telemedicine nowadays has come, which will going to help us. But ultimately, this misinformation is one thing which we have to like very take a precaution of it, and this is the platform. This the conferences and the CMEs like this are the one where we are told about the wrong things which are happening and the right things are brought in front of us. So we all are here. So we expect that everybody of you, including me, will go to the world with the proper information, with a good knowledge and the correct thing we are going to present the community and the people. I thank once again the organizers for giving this opportunity to me. Thank you. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite the chief guest and guest of honors and other dignitaries on the dais to release our books. First, Dr. Narayana Reddy sir's book. Then we have SEPI's news and views. So SEPI representative is on the dais. Then we have Dr. Rasiya Samal's book. Then we have the conference abstract. These four books to be released by the dignitaries on the dais.
Oh, Saro. Saro.
This must be at least 15th book written by Dr. Narayana himself for mass awareness and knowledge. Yes.
Friends, this book has been authored by three people, myself, Dr. Satyanarayana Reddy, and our chairperson, Dr. Venkatramana. All the prayers are raising this book. Dr. Padmasri Prakash Patari and Dr. Natya Sarvata, Vice Chancellor of the Britannia Health Center, who have read the book and prepared the book to say a few words about the book. Thank you.
Yes, I have gone through the book completely from A to Z, and it's a wonderful book, and it's a very good reference book. And I think it needs to be there in almost every library of the country. And I would like to congratulate you already and your team for this excellent book. God bless you.
The true Guru appreciating a disciple's writing itself is an honor. I have nothing more to say, but this much I can say. I also got a copy of it. I have gone through it. This is the first book which has analyzed sexual functions and dysfunctions by every system of the body. This is the first book. I am a urologist. We have read Campbell's textbook of urology since our beginning of our career 40 years back. Each time there is an edition. And we do not find a presentation this way. Even it is better than a reading than a textbook. I compliment Dr. Reddy. He has his blessing of his guru. Definitely, this is going to give enormous information to the doctors, to the students, and patients alike. Thank you.
We are ready. Transfer.
The मोठा आहे ना त्याची ती कॅमेरा ती द्यायची
Abstractly, both are being released. Now I would like to invite Dr. D. Narayana Reddy sir to present the chief guest with the memento. Okay, and he has already. I would like to invite Dr. sir to present the guest of honor, Padma Shri Dr. Prakash Kotari sir with the memento. I would like to invite Dr. T.S.S. Rao sir to give the memento to Dr. Rateshwar Hota sir. Sanjay Deshpande sir to give the moment. Pinky Rudwani going to be very best friends. All the dignitaries to take a breath. All breath and breath. Sir, few remarks before I proceed. This conference has been an experience for me. Uh, there was a training in the form of Goa conference organized by Dr. Shirish Malde. And then that training resulted into this particular. So it has been an exhilarating as well as adventurous journey. I've been traveling all around the places because of my multiple engagements and trying to figure out things how to do and how. And but all in all, it was worth doing it, every bit of it. Now we are going further. I request Dr. Padma Shri Dr. Alka Deshpande Madam, Padma Shri Dr. Prakash Kothari Sir, to award Lifetime Achievement Award to Dr. Sanjay Deshpande Sir for his unwavering commitment to the of sexology and sexual medicine. And he is now sexologist in from Central India. And probably a renowned sexologist in एवढं डोकं येतं काहीच करू नाही शकत we have another lifetime achievement award for his unflinching commitment towards the field of sexology. Unflinching commitment towards the field of sexology, and our beloved chairman, Dr. G. Venkatramana. Big applause. Lifetime achievement award.
हॅलो. हम्म. हा. मग नाही म्हणून सांगू का? म्हणजे पप्पा एकदम उगा मी शूट मध्ये पप्पा 2-3 वेळा फोन करत होते. हा ठीक आहे.
Now, into the next set of gratitudes to all the people involved in making this conference possible. They have played active as well as passive roles.
हॅलो.
And to
अरे
begin with,
कुठे
we have
त्यांच्या इतर
special
ट्रॅव्हल
invitee,
सोडू वालू कॅन्सल
Ramani.
8,000 रुपये आले. आले कुठे दिवस कोणी पत्ता तीन चार
Though they are quite but still,
8,000 रुपये
it's among the best I have visited in Pune city.
लावून माझ्या
So, Mr. Ramani, Professor, having accepted on behalf of PYC and staff, Dr. Saki sir will the PYC Gymkhana trophy on behalf of Mr. Dama. Sir, yeah. Check on the. Yes. Great. Put up. Now, I would invite Professor Dr. Vijay Mansari, Registrar of MNC, and without whose help this activist for these points will be possible. And in what request of the ones to access trophy for running plan. Now I would like to invite Professor Dr. Archana Deshpande Madam, who happens to be our agency observer, who to receive a small token of gratitude. Madam, academic to receive a small token of appreciation from the organizing committee. Now I would like to invite Mrs. Jaya Sate, the mitochondrial force behind Dr. Sate, to raise.
She's in a PR place now. It's at her father's place, but she cannot come for some reasons.
I would like to share something which is actually tragic. 3 days back, Sate had his father-in-law had left for heavenly abode. Still, we are conducting this. Acts of his commitment for the scientific cause. So, you the care of
or
She is also a pediatrician. And she married, she didn't know that I would be pursuing sexual medicine. So probably she would have rejected otherwise. Next, I would like to invite the board members. First, our chairperson, Dr. Venkat Ramana. We have multiple trophies for giving us the opportunity to conduct this conference in the city of Pune. Then I would like to invite Chairman Emeritus Dr. Narayana Reddy on dais to receive. Chairperson Dr. Sanjay Deshpande sir, immediate past. Vice Chairperson Dr. Maharashtra Dhareja. Dhareja sir. Then I would like to invite Vice Chairperson Dr. Secretary Dr. J.K. Nath. Secretary Dr. J.K. Nath. Organizing Chairperson Dr. Patel. Academic partners. Our academic representative first is Amongst representative representative Dr. Father Kami to receive the trophy on his behalf, on their behalf. Pune Diabetic Association, Dr. Bhaskar Anshe. Pune Psychiatric Association, Dr. Yogesh Kokre. And Dr. Sachin Naik of Maharashtra Association of Surgeons of India, Maharashtra chapter. Now coming to organizing committee. Last organizing committee. Sir, organizing committee, all the organizing committee members, please be ready. Dr. Vivek Villampelli. Villampelli. Dr. Rotika Khare. Dr. Madan Kamble. Dr. Madhumita Bahare. Dr. Praveen Benekar. Dr. Kalpana Erande. Dr. Sanjay Erande. Dr. Sanjay Rangar. Dr. Santosh Khadgare, Dr. Rajsingh Sawant, and Dr. Anand Shinde. Those who are absent today, they will receive their trophies tomorrow AGM. Now coming to, after this set of trophies, only 4. Anand Shinde sir. Absent. Now, RX events.
పన్నా సార్ అట్లా అర్చన
Further is Francis Sawant again.
అంత పెద్ద అమౌంట్ చెక్ చేయలేదు మీరు కూడా అవి ఏమన్నా పెట్టుకుంటారా అట్లా మీకు పెట్టుకుంటారు అంత పెద్ద అమౌంట్ పిల్ల ఉన్నది అట్లానే ఎదురుంగోలు ఇట్లా పెట్టుకొని అంత పెద్ద అమౌంట్ ఇయ్యర్రా ఎట్లా అంటున్నాను ఇస్తారు ఇట్లా ఏమో పెట్టాలి వస్తుంది ఇట్లా నేను అంత పెద్ద అమౌంట్ తెలిసిందా ఎవరి మధ్య సో ఇట్లా తెలుసు
Our briefing partner, Sherry Joshi.
గదేనా ఇప్పుడు నేను దానికి కొడతాను బరాబరా ఇప్పుడు కూడా కొడతాను అంటున్నాను बिल्कुल नोट को मतलब ठीक है ठीक है
Supporting the sexology events for last few years. Imeros Pharma. Force Private Limited. Force. Third, Fertilmate. Fertilmate Pharma Private Limited. And next, Innova Care. These are our gold sponsors. Golden sponsor, not gold sponsor. Now next line and final set of this thing, silver sponsors, Crystal Pharma, Ace Line, JB Chemicals, Newton Pharma, British Phyto, Mickey Pharma, Petrogenics Exponential and Himalayan. Brisson Pharma, Ace Pharma, JB Chemicals, Newton Pharma, British Phyto, Mickey, Petrogenics Exponential and Himalayan. Brisson Pharma. Some British Phyto, Newton Pharma, Mickey, Petrogenics and Himalayan. Awards, I would like to request, all the dignitaries from the dais to take the please be seated. and misogynies. She said, now, ladies and gentlemen, I would request our chief guest, my teacher, the teacher for people living for many, I mean hundreds, thousands of people, thousands of doctors. She has been teacher serving in JJ Hospital, my alma mater.
Thank you, Dr. Proprietor. Already immediately on the dance.
यांचं चालू आहे काय
I'm
माहिती संपलं काय
15
आता
minutes. I hope you have
तासभर आधी
appreciated
संपलं काय
15
आता
minutes for me.
पॉडकास्ट किती वेळ गेला माहिती
Excuse me, please sit down.
That's it. Let me pay my tributes to Dr. Vatsa. I come from the same alma mater, Grand Medical College and St. Benjamin College. And my highest respect I pay to Dr. Prakash Maharaj. Way back in 1990, when sex and sexology was the term, first time I heard from Dr. Prakash Maharaj. Till then I was ignorant about. Because as a medical student, we have never been exposed to this. Our teachers taught us to take the history, and then the history we were told that if it is a female patient, the social history you ask in menstrual history and obstetric history, and if it is a male patient, you ask the history of exposure. After completing my MD, I continued teaching in the same college, and I continued the same teaching, history of exposure. And many times I used to ask the patient and the students, history of exposure to what? And they didn't know. Because this is the way we are taught in our curriculum. So history of exposure, history of exposure. I said, you have to ask history of exposures, then some right student would say, history of exposure to STD. I said, who will say STD? The patient. The patient will tell you, I had history of exposure to STD. And they wouldn't know, they would fumble. Thinking about at that time, people used to say sex is a taboo in India. Around 1990, when AIDS epidemic started, being a professor in the government medical college, I had to take the responsibility of those cases because no doctor in Mumbai would immediately even allow them to enter the clinic. That time I had done a lot of reading because I had to conduct a lot of reading workshops. And I came across a book in which it was written that the German scientists and clinicians, when they read Kama Sutra, they were dancing, they were so delighted. And they wondered with such a beautiful insights on the art science of sex comes from India. Why sex is a taboo in India? And in the previous author had said that sex is not a taboo in India. Vatsalyan, who wrote Kama Sutra, has been revered by Indian culture as Maharshi. He was not a pornographer, he was a Maharshi. And then he said that Indian culture, sex is an instinct. Everyone knows it. The instinct in the human beings and all animals. After all, human is also a human animal. So sex is an instinct. But what is the purpose of the sex as per our culture? The purpose of the sex is propagation of the race. And when we say the propagation of the race, when the man and woman relationship, the sex, is going to create something new, our culture has elevated this couple to a pedestal of Brahma. who creates something. It's elevated to theater that when there is a new creation, if you are into Brahma's creation, it has to be good, it has to be beautiful, and it has to be sacred. And maintenance sacrifice, the sanctity, the sex in Indian culture was confined between the husband and the wife, with the four walls of the bedroom. Such a great understanding of the sexual relation between a man and a woman. So sex was not a taboo. You all also must be knowing the story of Adi Shankaracharya, who was so young, and he had his bed on Mimamsa with Mandan Mishra. And Mandan Mishra was losing. At that time, his wife intervened. And wife asked Adi Shankaracharya, she said, yes, you have a knowledge, but you don't have a knowledge about the pleasure of man and woman relationship. You have not entered into Grihasthashram. You don't know the pleasure, your knowledge is incomplete. You know the further story. So Shankaracharya left his body, his pran went or entered into a dead king's body. He remained there for 1 month. In 1 month, he enjoyed the pleasures of life, came back to his dead body, and then completed his visit with Mandan Mishra Bhavan. So sex was not taboo in our culture, but it had a sanctity. That is what we have to do. God has given us the brain, but God has given us emotions, which we have to use. Then, why are we saying that sex is taboo? Because India was invaded by invaders with their barbaric culture, and with that barbaric culture, naturally we had protein from a woman, and that is where all these traditions came. That women were confined to the kitchen. Maybe there was also a part of male dominance, I don't know. But then the whole thing, which made change, and that is how people started talking that there is sex is a taboo in India. I'm just giving you my straight thoughts. So when we students, as I told you, we didn't think about sex and sexology. We only asked about the history of menstrual history, obstetric history, and history of exposure to these diseases or in the male, and we taught the same thing. Later on, with Dr. Prakash Mukari and other people, they started thinking about it. Around 1990, as I said, I started my work in HIV with the stuff. And then I came across and saw so many facets of human life and human sexuality that it was really intriguing. And then I realized that we have to give sex education to our community and to our students. I had conducted many lectures to our adolescent students and college students about this sex education because the way HIV was spreading in the country, it was necessary. As I was coming for this conference, and the theme of the conference is digital era. So I was browsing through the literature. Now I have crossed 75. So naturally I am an old lady. So I am not techno savvy, but when I was browsing, but what I read, my God, it was a psychological shock to me. All that is going on the social platforms, all that is talked and enjoyed on the social platforms, I just couldn't take it. There was virtual friendship, virtual marriages, virtual divorce, and virtual sex also. I don't know what it was. Is it a cultural revolution? Or we are just aping some culture outside India, giving it some good name? Or is it absolutely a colossal confusion of our emotions? I don't know. I'm asking this August gathering because what I have read all along that there are basic instincts of the human being. Sex is for a propagation of the males. As Dr. Mohan Agashi said, hunger is an instinct. Sex is an instinct. Propagation, it is for propagation of the race. Self-survival is an instinct. And parenthood is also an instinct. But on that social platform, I saw some people that they don't want to be parents. They want to enjoy life. They don't know what is their definition of enjoyment. But they don't want to be tied down. They don't want any responsibility. They don't want to enjoy. So enjoyment is only a sexual enjoyment. I don't. So I feel that it is something beyond word for me. In fact, most of the doctors also don't know about the sex and sexology. It is, I must admit here, in last about 10 years, we have one lecture in our physicians forum in the conference on erectile dysfunction. That's the only topic that we discuss. And that is because the increasing incidence of diabetes and the increasing number of diabetic patients that we do. Otherwise, there is nothing related to sex and sexuality. In fact, here in this gathering of sexologists, I am an odd one out. I have come here only because of the persuasion and persistence of Dr. Abhineva and Dr. Sathe. And I was pleading that I have zero knowledge about sexology, so please don't invite me. But I couldn't say no to them, therefore I have come here. But after coming here and after going through all that literature, nothing. So they said, I'm still in that psychological shock. And then for a team, your council, and all these esteemed delegates, they should take the responsibility on themselves to give a proper sex education and awareness. I'm not talking about the community, I'm talking about our own medical fraternity. Because they must know how to deal with these problems which are coming on. And then so it is necessary that we give this knowledge to our meditation community. You must impress upon them that this is the need of the hour. It is very, very critical by the medical doctors, the medical fraternity, to know about what is happening in this world, in which direction our younger generation is going on, and how we can give them the correct information and guide them. After all, the decision will be theirs. We can at least guide. And therefore, that is the responsibility I take of this council. I would also suggest that the association, your association or council, whatever it is, should take an initiative and start a diploma course in sexology. It's a new discipline and it is multiple disciplines are connected to it. Therefore, you can start a diploma. If not diploma, at least the certificate course. And I'm very happy just 2 hours back I learned that there is a fellowship in sexology in Vijay Hospital under NUHS, University of Health Sciences of Maharashtra. So once they have sanctioned the fellowship, I think certificate course or a diploma course should not be a difficulty. In fact, most of the young graduates will get a new discipline through a specialization. That I am saying about it in the need of otherwise, this digital era and artificial intelligence, I don't know where it will take a young people. Therefore, I think it is our responsibility. We have to.
I would like to invite Dr. Sanjay Deshpande sir, if he is around, to share his thoughts, madam?
We have to start with the take an initiative and let us start to get written soothing books. So now you have to make little more efforts to write down the curriculum of sexology and give this certificate for sanction. In fact, I'm very happy that Dr. Mutha told me that he's doing PhD. When you are doing PhD, it is not a difficult task for you. It's not a curriculum in sexology. It will be a new discipline for my medical student. They always want to do specialization, and this will be a new specialty for them. So finally, I thank the organizers, and I don't know whether I should thank Dr. Saka and Dr. Mutha literally forcing me from you. DK, I saw something new. I learned something new. And I was quite happy with that. I don't want to venture into it, but it is always good to have more knowledge. And that is education. Education, I would say, very limited. Because only one can get doctors. When they have sexual dysfunctions or problems, why they don't go to a consultant or to a medical practitioner and seek the advice that I have this problem in sexual relation. I will wait 3, 4, 5 years till they become symptoms, till they relevant. Very, very important. Let me know. And the only way that your association can take it. So, the person has to say, and we are already thank you. Thank you very much for giving me this honor. As I said, I'm audible out. If I made any mistakes, please forgive me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving me this award, lifetime achievement award. In fact, around 2 to 2.5 months back, I understood what is the importance of life. I suffered myocardial infarction. Then I have undergone CABG, bypass surgery, and thank God that I am here to receive that award. Friends, my journey in CACPR, it is specifically says CACPR, not sexology or sexual medicine. Because Council of Sex Education and Parenthood International is my family. I started my journey in 1997 when there was a conference in Chennai. I distinctly remember even the name and title of that conference. It was named as workshop, and the name of the workshop was Focus Sexuality. Dr. Reddy must be remembering that very well because he was organizer. When I received this Lifetime Achievement Award, I must not forget the importance of at least 4 persons. One is the great Dr. Mahendra Vatsa, who actually gave me the sanskar about sex education, counseling, and therapy, and as a good human being. I will fail in my duties if I don't give credit to Dr. Vittal Brahmos, because he was also kind enough. In fact, I never feel that they are my colleagues or any doctors whom I know since last 20 years. I always feel that they are my relatives. I used to go to their home, have their hospitality, and enjoy their company. Though they were around 30, 40 years senior. And then one man, which is now, I don't remember his name, but he is from Pune, or he was from Pune, Dr. Ananta Gopal Sati. Sex education and all adolescent education, the nitty-gritties of it, the intricacies of it, I knew from. And last but not the least, I must give credit of myself as a chairperson.
past chairperson of this organization, to my mentor, great guide and philosopher, Dr. Narayan Reddy. I always say that I have learned so many things from how to run an organization. I can tell you, I was the vice president of this organization for 3 years, the president of this organization for 6 years. But before that, I was honorary secretary of this organization for 6 years. And that was under the chairmanship of Dr. Narayan. I learned a lot from sex education, counseling, therapy, sexual medicine, as a human being. How to behave. Though I may not be a perfect disciple of Dr. Reddy, I will try. So thank you very much for giving me this award. I am praying Dr. Venkat and Dr. Amit Mutha and Dr. Rajendra Sati. I'm really very thankful to you. I'm not going into the details of other things, but thanks to the God, my parents, family, friends, and all CSCPs. Thank you.
Now, we I request Dr. J.K. Nath for the vote of thanks.
Good evening. Over here. Expressing gratitude to all of this conference. That's all the story inside me. We see many individuals coming together, engaging in open discussions, informative and respectful dialogues, topic of consideration, sensitive but community for our well-being, individual society as a whole. I thank Honorable President Honorable Dr. Sudareji, Dr. Bhutta, Dr. Vimani for the blessing this session, for enlightening insights, blessing this occasion. I thank, first of all, very much, wanted to extend my special thank you to distinguished speakers and panelists who will share their invaluable knowledge and experience. Your expertise provided us with a deeper understanding and complexity of human sexuality, human time, relationship. And will help dispel many myths and misconceptions. I also wanted to acknowledge individual efforts of organizing committee, Dr. Kade, Dr. Yuta, everybody. Who have worked and tried to help this one pursuit. Your dedication, attention to detail, and ensure this seminar will run smoothly and give rich experience for you involved. Once again, thank you all. Thank you.
What is the end of the program? Now the next program will start. Yes, sir. Thank you.